Cool.
On this edition of the Indirect podcast, we highlight August of 2021. And that's because this month may go down in history as the time that one of the biggest individual transfers in European football was pulled off. A player leaving the only European club he has ever known, going to a new team, a new country, in fact, rocking the European football world to its core. Now, while less enlightened folks might think this would be some fellow from Argentina who just went to PSG, we here at the Indirect Podcast know better. And we know that it truly is one of our fellow natives of St. Louis, Missouri, Josh Sargent, who goes from Werder Bremen over to the Premier League, now playing for Norwich City. Josh, first of all, what do you think about the fact that Lionel Messi tried to steal your moment, steal your thunder by making his move at the same time you were making yours?
Yeah, I can't believe he would do that. It's kind of embarrassing for him, to be honest, but it is what it is.
He'll somehow have to get over it. I don't know how it's going to
Yeah,
happen, but that's his problem to deal with. You, on the
exactly.
other hand, don't have a problem. You have an opportunity at Norwich City. First of all, let's just start at the beginning. How did this all come about? How did this whole transfer begin? And take us through the process.
Yeah, I mean, ever since we got relegated last season with Bremen, it's been, I was happy there, but of course I wanted to play in a first league. And yeah, it was a long process. There were a few teams interested, but in the end, Norwich sounded, the most appealing to me, and luckily we were able to get a deal. And so far, I'm feeling very comfortable here, and it's going well.
Tim,
Now,
you know Josh
yeah,
pretty well. Jump on in.
no, I don't really know him that well. I only know him kind of well. Um, li- I mean, technically, this is a bigger transfer than Messi because he went for free. So, right? Like they paid Norwich has paid a fee. So technically, I mean, if you really want to get technical with it,
Yeah,
you've
I'm
outdone
He
just
him
was more
there.
not.
expensive. He was
I'm
more
just not
expensive
gonna
than
get
Messi.
into this right now. I'm not gonna want to see all the comments about this. So let's leave
No,
it how it is.
perfect. I like that. I like that. You're humble. You're humble. I like that. That's well. You're from
And
St.
spoken
Louis, of
like
course.
somebody
Of
who
course you
understands
are.
what social media does, too.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. No, listen, Josh. I mean, you and I had a conversation when we were in Switzerland, didn't we? And we were talking about what your options were, what you wanted to do. Um, Obviously, you get relegated and you're immediately thinking, I want to be in a first division somewhere. Was it was it always the plan to get to England, or were you definitely pulled to stay in Germany before all this came to fruition?
Yeah, I mean, it was always, my dream to play in the Premier League. And you can ask my parents, even I said it since a young age, but I didn't really know, like, I didn't have an age at, okay, this is when I want to go. And yeah, I mean, I would have been happy in Germany also, but this is just how it all played out. And I guess I got to the Premier League, faster than I actually thought I would. So yeah.
And you've only had the one match under your belt. Pretty big start with going against Liverpool the first time out. I know you came on late in that match, didn't see a ton of minutes, but what was your impression and your experience like with that first game?
To be honest, I think it won't come as a surprise to anybody, but I was pretty nervous waking up that morning and I didn't know if I would get in or not, but just the thought of playing against Liverpool and against a ton of or in front of a ton of fans again, it's the first time in a while that we've done that. And yeah, Premier League debut maybe. So obviously I was very nervous throughout the day, but to be honest, once I got on the field, I felt very comfortable. And it kind of showed me, that if I can do it against Liverpool, I can, do it against these other teams. So excited to see how the rest of the season plays out.
Obviously, you only had what 3 days training with the
Yeah.
team before.
Mhm.
So, am I right in saying you knew somebody already on the team before moving there?
Yeah. Milo
Has,
Rashica came from Bremen also.
so has that been, or has it not kind of played into anything in the past week?
No, it definitely helps going into a new team and you know somebody already. And not sure exactly how long he was there before me. I think 3 or 4 weeks, but he's well integrated with the guys already. So he was able to bring me into his friend group, kind of introduce me to everybody. So it's helped a ton having me here.
And even though it's still so early and it might take a while to really fully grasp the things that are happening with your club and with the new league, have you noticed any differences that really have stuck out to you between your time in Germany and the few days you've had training in the Premier League?
Um, I mean, yeah, it hasn't been very long, so I haven't been able to, you know, get the full experience yet. They're still kind of bringing me into the rhythm of things, but I can definitely tell that they do things very intensely here. Whether it's gym or training, it's always at least 2 hours long, it seems like. So they definitely have a good work ethic, and yeah, they like to work hard.
Welcome to England.
Yeah.
Tim, you always say that you guys don't do anything hard. I mean, this is a total shock to me.
Oh, that is such a lie. Oh no, but I thought you guys did a lot in Germany. I thought they just you guys have like 3 sessions a day. You take naps in your training ground and you do all that. Is that not how it works over there?
No, definitely not.
And what do you expect from, I guess, these next few weeks now as you settle in with the club and, with the new manager and the change of environment? What are kind of your goals and expectations as you try to get up to speed and acclimate yourself?
I mean, the coach said it himself, before I talked to him, before I came over here. He was like, it's different with each player. He can't promise that I'm gonna feel great right away. It might take, 2 months, a year even to get into the rhythm of everything. But honestly, I feel very good right now. And like I said already, with Milo here, it's helped me come into the team a lot easier. And I feel like I'm doing well with the pace of everything. So I don't know really what my expectations are. Just go into these next games, keep working hard, and seeing how it goes.
Was there an what oh my god moment on the as you're sitting on the bench, Liverpool, you're sitting there, you're watching the game play out, and the manager turns to you and gives you the curly finger and says, "Come on, you're up."
Curly,
Um, was there, this one like, "Come on,
the
come on,
curly
you're going on,"
finger.
the curly finger. Was there an oh my god moment like this is actually happening? I'm here and I'm finally doing it.
um, I think the coolest thing was when he told the first three guys to go warm up, and I think those are usually the guys that will most likely go in. And I went to the corner and all the fans started clapping and everything. And then they started a USA chant. And I was just smiling and kind of like, well, obviously that's really cool. And then I was like, I don't know. It made me really happy just thinking about how I always wanted to play in the Premier League and that I actually might get the opportunity to go in and play against one of the best teams in the world. And once I actually got on the field, like I said, I was really nervous leading up to it, but once I got out there, it kind of just felt like every other team. So it was pretty amazing.
Did you have any conversation with your teammates or even any of the guys on Liverpool? Any words exchanged in any sort of way once you were on the field or during the game?
During the game, no. During the game, there was just a lot of running and not a lot of stuff, but Firmino came up to me actually and said good game and asked to switch jerseys, which was pretty amazing. So I'll take it.
Oh, I thought you were telling a lie there. I thought you were just
No,
making
no.
stories up. No, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. What have I read today though that you can't quite understand the Scottish accent yet? Are you struggling with
Wow.
Gilmore's accent?
Yes, Billy is the worst one, but all of those guys, even like the English guys, it's just sometimes they're saying something and I have to repeat like, what? Huh? What? And after the third time, I'm just like, I'll just act like I know what they're saying. I'm like, yeah, kind of just smile. But no, their
But
accents are gonna take some getting
but
used to for sure.
but you speak English.
Yeah, but okay, that's what I thought. I was excited. I was like, I'm going to an English-speaking country. Let's go. And it's like just as hard as understanding the German accent.
Really? It's that tough, huh?
Okay, maybe not that tough, but some guys
Now,
are harder than
No,
others.
to be honest, like the Scottish accent, if you get it, depending on where they're from, they're thick and they're heavy, and they have their own, yeah, they have definitely have their own language. I've played with a few, and it took me a little while to get used to them as well.
and Tim has told me that he's been in England so long now that he feels like he's even started to develop somewhat of an accent. I mean, I can't tell,
Oh
but I mean,
God.
is that a goal for you, Josh, to have your own
Mm,
Americanized English accent? Or are you just going to stick to the old Americanized way of doing it like we've always done?
I'm just trying to stick with my St. Louis accent. If I can keep
Oh,
that,
there
then
you
everything
go.
will be good.
It won't happen. I'm telling you, if you are here long enough, it will not happen.
We'll see, Tim. We'll see.
Has have you talked to Christian? I mean, has he fully changed? Has he bought into the whole accent thing over at Chelsea?
No, he tries. He pretends though, doesn't he?
I don't know, not from what I've seen. Like I was gonna say, he kind of just seems normal, but maybe Tim
Yeah, he
talks to him more
definitely
than I
no,
do. I
he
don't know.
definitely no, he definitely still like he doesn't have the English kind of twang onto it, but every now and again he'll pretend like he'll try to say something and throw an English accent on it, and it's like it's so forced, but it's funny.
There's no in between either. I mean, you're either on the accent or you're completely off it, and you look terrible. I mean, if you try to do it and it doesn't come off, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in trying. There's no
Yeah.
point in imitating. It's like when they imitate an American accent. It's so like what have they tried it with you yet, Josh? Have they tried an American accent? It'll be real like Texan like Southern accent.
Yeah, they just try to make fun of me anytime I
That's
walk
that's
The
into
the
the
one they all
locker
know.
room. They're
that's
The
the
like,
only one they know.
"What's up, dude? What's up, bro?" I'm like, "Oh
yeah,
God,
yes, the
okay."
dude, bro, yes, the California West Coast. Yeah,
Uh,
that's the other one they think they
So it's
know.
the dude, the bro, the whole surfer slash valley girl sort of
yeah, I guess so.
Yep,
idea they have, right? Okay.
yep.
What's like some of what are some of the tough words to pick up like on their end, like the Scottish accents? What are the tough ones to sort of decipher?
It's not like specific words. It's just the whole time they're speaking. It's like sometimes if I'm not focused, it sounds like they're not even speaking English. I don't know.
True. This is true. Honestly, because when I first moved, and my wife can attest to this, we sat down, we got off a plane, sat down with Owen Coyle, and we were looking at him. He was speaking a million miles a minute, and I don't think we caught anything other than "Are you all right?" How are you? We were just like, what? I still to this day I'm not really sure what he said in that first meeting. It's just a it's just a shock. You don't expect it. It's just such a different accent than the English accent.
Yeah.
You mentioned Billy Gilmore, and I mean, here's a guy who probably could still be playing at Chelsea if they didn't have such an embarrassment of riches and they weren't so ridiculously deep. How's your relationship with him right now, Josh? You must be looking forward to playing with him on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, this is still like what my eighth day here or something,
Yeah.
so haven't gotten too close with anybody yet. But I mean, all the guys have been cool so far coming into the team. They're all pretty nice, and yeah, Billy is not an exception. He's just been a cool guy, and hopefully I can play with him some more.
You
And
learning
in
anything
terms,
off of anything off of Timu Puki yet? Is he giving you any pointers?
He
Are you
hasn't given
just
me
you
any pointers, but
are you just gonna go your own way and figure it out?
he hasn't given me any pointers yet, but you can definitely tell that he's class around the box, like just so experienced and so calm in high pressure situations. It's pretty cool to see. So hopefully I can learn a little bit from that.
And just about settling in. Obviously it's an English-speaking country, and you were looking forward to that. But what's been the settling in process, just lifestyle like for you? I mean, are you driving? Are you driving on the wrong side of the road? What's
Ooh,
up with that?
yeah. That has been, I think, the biggest challenge so far. Driving on the other side, with the steering wheel on the other side. Ooh, I don't know. Like now I'm pretty comfortable, but the first 2 days I was like driving on the curb, like scratching the rims the whole time. Like it was not good.
I was gonna say,
I don't know what it is.
how many
Like,
times did you think you were gonna hit something?
oh my God. Like I don't know why. Driving on the left side, it's so easy to feel the distance like to the right side and how far over I am. But now that I'm on the right side, I just have no feeling like how far over cars are and everything. So like if there's a car in the road, I'm so far over to the right. Like I think.
Just wait until you go back to St. Louis and you drive and you end up pulling out of your subdivision or your drive and you end up on the wrong side of the road. I'll tell
I
you
was
what, that's a
thinking
scary
about that.
feeling. That is a scary. The amount of times I've done that, I pulled out of my neighborhood and I'm driving down the wrong side of the road with a car coming at me. I'm thinking, what's going on here? Nah, it's dangerous.
No, I
You
was
know,
thinking that too. Just switching back and forth is going to be hard.
Yeah.
down in South County, they do that anyway, so it wouldn't
Well,
even make a difference.
I mean, where him and I are from, North County, they do it as well. So
Yeah, not the best
You
drivers.
fit, you fit right in. As far as national team commitments and opportunities, big slate of games coming up with the international break in September and World Cup qualifying starting, and you'll be coming back here on several occasions. What do you think about your particular place right now in Berhalter's squad, and how comfortable do you feel about going into this next huge block of games?
Yeah, I mean, there's good guys at the striker position. I don't know exactly how Greg is thinking right now, but in terms of how I feel very good with how I'm playing right now. I feel very confident, and I w- I would love to go to these games, obviously, and play some minutes and score some goals. So we'll see what he decides.
Well, how often do you guys communicate? How often do either Greg or a member of his coaching staff communicate with you about where things stand and what they expect from you going forward?
To be fair, they're pretty good with reaching out and checking in, whether that's Greg just asking how things are going and how I feel, or if it's one of the athletic coaches just asking if everything's okay and if I need anything. They don't tell me anything is like, oh, now you're the third striker, so it's looking like you're not going to come to camp. But there's just always giving tips, or if Greg wants to do video, once in a while he'll text me. So they're pretty good with reaching out.
yeah, it's definitely pretty regular. I mean, after most games, you're more than likely going to get a text message because they're constantly keeping tabs on I mean, good game. Oh, how do you feel? What's going on? And like Josh said, even the like the medical side of things and the strength and conditioning side of things, they're always asking if they can help in any any particular way. So it's the communication
And
the other week. You just you just don't know where you stand until the final final rosters and emails come out.
but as you mentioned, it's interesting how they are always following and chronicling what you do. I think some people might not realize. I mean, they know what you do in training, right? I mean, they're talking to your club coaches, so they know what's going on, not just in your games, but what you're doing in regular training with your other club teammates, right?
You want to take it, Josh? You want me to take it?
You go ahead. Go ahead. I'll follow up.
I know obviously from my own personal experience and conversations with our strength and conditioning department at Fulham, that they're constantly sending across in the weeks leading up to national team camps, sending across the data, and the distances covered, the number of training sessions, the number of gym sessions you've done, number of minutes, games played. Obviously, the staff will know that, but everything in between, they're keeping tabs on. So they're constantly knowing how much work you've put in the training sessions as well, leading up to any camps.
Spot on. I mean, even like Steve texted me, one of our athletic trainers. He texted me just saying congratulations for the move, actually. And then he was like, "Don't get too used to that cold weather. Like when you come back to the U.S. for national team, it's gonna be." They're always thinking about, what's the next step? How can we prepare them for it?
Yep.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, the next one's in Nashville, so I guess you guys will train for a week, maybe several days in Nashville before the game. So Nashville, early September could, I don't know, maybe be just a little hot and humid.
Well, before that, we have El Salvador. We have El Salvador before that, though, don't we?
Oh, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
so I think from what I understand is that we'll end up in Nashville and then travel down to El Salvador, play El Salvador, travel back up to Nashville, and play Canada, and then I'm not. I mean, everywhere we play at that point is going to be hot, so it doesn't really matter where you are. It's still September. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid.
Yeah. Josh, it seems to me that one of the good things about where the U.S. national team stands right now is with all of the young players who are now over in Europe playing with big clubs, that there's kind of a different vibe around the team. And it seems like a lot of you guys played together at some of the youth levels, right? The youth
Yeah.
national team levels, the youth World Cups, and that would seem to make a difference, right? That you have this experience of having played together at the youth level, and now you bring that to the senior level, and it seems like maybe it would make a big difference.
For sure. I think we're all kind of, still getting used to playing with each other. We all, from our clubs, we have different playing styles, whatnot, different roles on the team. But definitely, like, I've been playing with Tim Weah since U14. I think these other guys, the older guys like Tyler, Christian, Weston, they were at residency together. And in one way or another, I feel like we've all sort of played with each other at the youth level. So I think it definitely helps, and it will only get better, to be honest. But I was just laughing at the beginning because you singled me
Yeah,
out
no,
and
I
said
knew
the young guys.
That was going to be my follow-up.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it.
I saw
When I looked at the screen and I saw him, I saw you smirk, and I was like, I know he's gonna say something. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. And you know what? That's fine. That's all right. That's okay.
Hey,
It is what it is.
everybody's going to be an older veteran player one day, right? It's wisdom.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Someone's
true.
got to follow somebody.
Right.
Fair enough.
And that would seem, because we always, in going back over the years, when the U.S. national team would come up against some of the bigger clubs like the Argentinas, the Brazils, it seemed to be that there was this sense that it wasn't a fair fight, right? That there was this reverence, for these other nations. But you guys have also not only played together, with the U.S. youth national teams, but you played against guys from Argentina, from Brazil, so you kind of know them as well. So there's not this awe factor when you go and you play them on the international stage, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think even with guys playing at such big clubs now and in the top 5 leagues, you're playing against the best every weekend. So going into national team games, I don't think anybody, is really scared anymore about facing these big teams like Brazil, Argentina, whoever it is. And it helps a ton, for sure.
I think it's
And you
a.
mentioned, go ahead, Tim.
I think it's telling though that you have respect for him, but like you said, there's not so much an awe factor anymore. I think there used to be, an awe factor. Like, oh my goodness, like look at who's playing on this Spain team or this Italian team. And now, like Josh just said, all you're playing against all these guys, all in all the 5 leagues, we got guys playing every single week against guys who other opponents who are playing for these top national teams, and there isn't that awe factor anymore. It's we have guys who are step for step, in terms of their career, in terms of their path, and I just think there's just an abundance of confidence in amongst the young players that that they can compete with the best of the best.
And Josh, you had mentioned too about the different playing styles with the club teams. When you get together with the national side, whether it's a training camp, whether it's friendlies, or whether it's World Cup qualifiers, and it's such a short window that you're actually all together, how difficult is it to assimilate those styles that you play with on a regular basis with your club team and try to bring all of these different styles and players back together and function cohesively as a national team?
Well, I think the coaching staff and everybody there have done a really good job of, you know, really explaining like the identity of our team and how we want to play and just how they want our culture to be off the field as well. And I think right when you get to camp, everybody kind of gets in, that mood. Everybody sees each other, everybody's happy again. And it's just a really healthy culture there. I think Tim would say the same thing. Everybody, kind of knows what to expect going into camp. So it's really good.
Yeah, I think it's more, and I think it goes back to one of the previous questions where Josh mentioned that we do have, every now and again we'll have video sessions with the coaching staff, and I mean, while him and I are in England, we'll have a video session over Zoom with the coaching staff to show us different things that maybe they want to work on in the camp coming up, and I think that helps with setting out a very specific style and shape of the team. But then it is a consistent culture within the squad. Whenever we come in, everybody knows what to expect from each other. Everybody knows what each other brings to the team, brings to the squad, and I think, like Josh said, it's just a really good mix of guys, and when you step foot into camp, you're part of a brotherhood, and everybody knows everybody, and everybody's happy to see each other, and I think that exuberance just it comes out within the group, and
Well, Josh, looking ahead, after your first game against Liverpool, I guess the good news is it gets easier because this weekend all you got is a trip to the Etihad in Manchester to take on the reigning champions in Man City. What do you expect from that?
Yeah. Easy easy first few games. We have Leicester after that, and then Arsenal. Easy start to the Premier League for me, but no, I think we're gonna go into it with the same attitude as we did Liverpool. I think we played pretty well against Liverpool, to be fair. Had a couple unlucky goals, and then Salah had a good goal after a set piece, but we competed with them pretty well. We know we're not the favorites going into these games, but I think if everybody knows, to work as hard as they can and fight the whole game, we have a chance. So that's all you can do.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. Games are not going to be the ones that your season will be decided on, and I think
No, yeah.
that's.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the thing for. Listen, I was the same way. When I moved to Bolton in January, my first 2 games were Chelsea. So that was the Drogba era, and they had me. Then they had me. We played Man City. So Man City was my second game, and they had me running around chasing Yaya Toure. So that was fantastic. But Yeah, I mean, listen, those games are not going to be the ones that decide your, your place in the league, and I think that's probably the best way to look at it. And then, listen, like you said, you work as hard as you can, and if you get something out of them, then it's a bonus, isn't it? If you don't, you've got another game coming.
Right. I don't think they're going to be games, but
No,
if we can steal a couple of points out.
absolutely.
Any particular individual strategies or matchups that you might look forward to in a game like this, knowing all of the talent and the individuals that Man City will put on the field, and guys you've watched and things of that nature. If you get some serious minutes, anything in particular that you're looking forward to with this game?
I mean, we know they're very, so hopefully we're not running around chasing the ball a lot of the time. But obviously, it's world-class players on their team. But also, as I said, you don't get so excited anymore. Like, oh my God, it's this guy or this guy. It's kind of like,
Right.
you're playing them, and you got to do the same job as if it was anybody else. So it's not as exciting as it used to be. I remember when I was younger, we played against France in a friendly, and I was with Tyler Adams, I think, and I was just like, oh my God, it's like this guy, it's this guy. Like this is the send-off game before they went and won the World Cup, actually, and we tied them. But I remember I was so excited before. I was like, it's him, whoever. And he's like, I don't care, I'm gonna kill them. I was like, what? Okay. Like, that's Tyler's attitude, if you know him.
That's
But
Tyler. Yep, that's Tyler.
but I didn't understand it at the time. I was like, how do these guys not think it's so cool to like play against these guys? But now I'm starting to understand it. You kind of get not used to it, but you know what to expect from them, and you're on the same level as them at the end of the day. So, just
It's a business trip. I mean, even though, back in the game against France, it was Griezmann, it was Pogba. I mean, you had all these guys that, were to some extent like international superstars. But when you're on their level, it's just a game. I mean, it is a game, and you're there to take care of business.
Yeah, I mean, you all tie your shoes
definitely.
up the same way. You tie your boots up the same way. You walk out onto the pitch the same way. It's at the end of the day, it is a game, and you're out there to play it and work as hard as you can. And like Josh said, if you get something out of it, you get something out of it. You know what I mean. You take that and you go. It's not it's and I said this earlier. It's not You're not awestruck anymore when you see these guys and you're playing against them on a regular basis. And I think the more guys that we have over here, the more you're starting to see that with the national team. There is no more you know looking at teams in awe, like, oh, like Josh said, France, oh, I'm playing it, this guy, this guy, this guy, oh, it's incredible.
No.
It's just and you learn from it, and you start to see yourself in that kind of life that you've made it to the Premier League, and the hard work doesn't stop there. It's you got to keep working harder to get to the level that they're at on the teams that they're at.
And you make your mark by actually outplaying them, outdoing them, right?
Yeah, doing your best to.
Yeah. Right. Right. Um, Before we let you go, Josh, what at this point, having been away for a few years now, what do you miss most about St. Louis? You cannot say emos or Ted Drews,
Oh,
which for people who
emos
don't
was the
know
first thing
is
that came to my
an
head.
ice cream. Really? Okay. Emos is a St. Louis style pizza, thin crust, cut into squares. Usually it's at the top of everybody's list of what they miss when they're away. So you can't say emos, you can't say Ted Drews. So beyond that, what would it be?
I mean, there's another pizza place, Peroni's Pizza. Do you know it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Peroni's I miss a lot. But I think it's cliche to say also, but my family, obviously. I think I would pick them first and then Peroni's. Peroni's is a close second, though. Really close.